So I got a project that I want to work on, and I've got like a collection of some wood that's already cut. I got a collection of some wood that's kind of roughed up that's out there. And I just wanted to come up with something a little different. A friend of mine, Danny McWilliams, you guys have seen him here on the podcast, Stuff I Heard. And he's been over at my house a few times. I've been at his house a few times. We've done a few projects together. We did a wood project for Tubbs restaurant here in Florence, South Carolina. We built a little outside bar area for a table. And he said, I asked him, I said, would you like some chairs? Because you got this new house and a lot of space around here. He says, you know what I really like? I'd really like to have me a nice shelf or shelves. And I came home and I started looking at some wood I had over here in the corner. And I don't know why, but sometimes wood just talks to you, if that makes any sense. I asked him, I said, do you want something like squared off or do you want something with like a live edge? He said, live edge. I said, okay. And this piece of wood talked to me. Now, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's something. It's something. It's something. It's real thick. And of course, I got to sand it a lot because it's got, a lot of edges that need to be kind of smoothed out. But also, it's got a lot of character like it is. Those are saw marks from where it ran through the bandsaw as a tree, which to me is pretty in itself. But also, it is prettier once you sand it a good bit, But I thought, okay, is this the back? Maybe I stand it upright. Oh, this is hard to do with one hand. Here we go. Do I stand it upright like this? And maybe have a shelf underneath it? And this would be like the vocal, or not the vocal point, your eye would catch this part as being the backer? Or should this be the shelf? And then I put like a piece up here that actually is the piece that holds it against the wall. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it. Of course, if I did that, I'd have to shape this up a little bit. Of course, all this would have to be cleaned out. And if you use this as a shelf, this part wouldn't be usable at all because it's, dented and it's got holes and such. And this all has to be cleaned up. But, like if I was going to use it as a shelf, me personally, I would use that side. Oh, look at all that. Look at all these knots in here and stuff. Man, that's pretty. I might do that. Holy cow. I didn't even look at this side. That might be the shelf right there. That might be the bottom. That might be where the spot that he uses to put stuff on. And that way, if I decorate this up a little bit or trim it up a little bit or clean it up a little bit, you can still see it if it's like at eye level. I mean, you'll see still some of that rawness. But that way, this part is usable. I don't know. Let me mess around with this thing and just see what it does. Because, like I said, sometimes wood just has to talk to you or talk to me. It's not talking to you. You guys are just watching me. Thank you for watching, by the way. I also got these little pieces here. These were over there in the pile to dry out so that I could then use it. Some of the bark has just come off of it like it's supposed to. And it's nice and stiff. And this is something. This is maybe an arm to hold a shelf up. I don't know. I'm contemplating. It's in the works. This is something cool. And then this is something cool. I can't quite figure it out yet. But like I said, sometimes the wood just it like whispers to me. It says, Josh, make me something cool. And I'm like, okay. Just y'all chill out. So yeah, let me see what I can do. Okay, so I looked through a bunch of pieces, and I think this is going to end up being my other piece. This is a log that I've run through the planer a lot, and I like the shape of it. I may draw a back line on this wood here. See, I cleaned this wood up. I may draw a back line on this and have this be the back piece. I haven't decided necessarily if I'm going to cut the end off down here or just sort of have it staggered, like maybe off center a little bit. There is that part of me that's military that wants to make that all squared off, but I know that's not the look we're looking for. Again, this is going to be for a friend, and he said kind of just whatever, man, just make me something cool. And I was open to it, so it's sort of left up to interpretation. Now obviously I got to clean this up a bit. But I don't know. I gotta mess with it some more. Yeah, I gotta mess with it some more. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what I'm doing here. Let me think on it. Okay, so I cut a straight line here. I turned this around. I've got this flush now on the bottom, and I went ahead and pre-drilled some holes, and I've got 4 screws in the bottom that are 3 inches in length. That weird piece that I had sitting over there, I held it up here and cut it in a way that it's going to have 3 points of contact for support on this side. I'm going to sand this off and tack it on, boom, boom, boom. And then on the other side of the same piece, I've trimmed some stuff, and it looks like it's going to be a corner piece. How did I do it? Like this. Boom. Yeah. So let's get this trimming off some stuff. Okay, this side is on. All nice and secure. Here, here, and here. And then the other side, I've got here, here, and here. Nice and snug as a bug. Not going anywhere. I think it looks good too. Looks pretty fantastic. Let me well, I do want to sand a little bit before I unhook it from the table. I want to kind of knock this little so it doesn't rub against the wall when it's back there. But yeah, I like it. Okay, this is the first coat. I came out here this morning and sanded it heavily with a 40 grit. Then went over with a 120 grit. A couple of sandings, a few hours. But I wanted to mainly just get a start. This is a start. I can see I got a little piece of red something in there. Anyway, I need to go to the store and get some more clear because I'm out of clear. But this will give that time to dry. I sanded as much as I could with what I had, or I used clear as much as I could from what I had. And I'm out now, so it's a good stopping point to go get some more. But I think it looks beautiful. Right now, this is, I've decided that's gonna be the bottom and this is gonna be the top. Of course, it's not really up to me. If he wants to change it, he can. But, yeah, I think it looks nice. We'll let that dry and I'll go get some more clear. Yeah. All right, so I ran to the store and I come back and you can see how the wood has soaked up a lot of that clear. See how it's kind of spotty? That's fine though. I'm gonna put more than one coat, but it's a good thing I went and got more so I could do multiple coats. So I'm gonna flip it and do another side. Okay, this is a couple of coats in. Got a new can of clear poly. I think the wood is really starting to pop. I gotta spin this around so you guys can see it because it's shadowy right here. Spin this around. Now this side's only got one coat so far. Very nice indeed. I'm liking it. I like it a lot. Very nice. I had to flip it over so I could get everything, like all the sides. I want to make sure it was good and coated everywhere. Of course, the tricky part is like getting some in between the seam a little bit, and then you come around this side and it was dripping down, so I had to use a fresh foam brush to kind of get that collected. But it's getting like it's covered pretty good. I definitely wanted to make it lean on this side so that I could get inside these little crevices. Although this is the side that's not really going to be seen. It's not super important that that look perfect, but you know me, I'm like that. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna do the flat sides again. Yeah, so let's let this just dry for a while. Okay? Yeah. Just remember, it's always better with more coats. Look way shinier. That wood is dry and it is soaking up a good bit of that clear poly. All right, we'll let that dry and we'll look at it again later. All right, so I got up this morning and put on another coat. Gonna let this fully dry, and then probably this afternoon I'll flip it and do the base, and then that should be it. It's nice and shiny. I like it when it's nice and shiny. Very cool. I've never built one of these before. This is kind of a new thing for me. Somebody saw it online and said, oh, what a neat looking bench. Well, to give you size perspective, this is my hand, so that's not exactly big enough to sit on. Like if you sat on it this way, maybe, but it's not supported enough to be a bench. But I guess it could be. But it is hard to tell size, I guess, in a photograph. So anyway, yeah, I'll show you the next step as it comes. All right, this is after multiple coats of clear and sanding. I think it turned out pretty nice. Yeah. Now all I gotta do is deliver it. Cool deal. I think it turned out great. What do you think?